Hey guys, Brian here with Better Chess Training, and in today's video I'm going to talk a little bit about the learning curve in chess and in other skills, and how understanding the learning curve will help you stay motivated as well as keep you moving towards improving your chess. Okay, in this video I'm going to be talking about the curve of development when it comes to skill, and this is something I read from a Tim Ferriss book, but I think it applies to a lot of skills including chess, and I've kind of modified it a little bit for my observations of both myself as well as other players I've talked to, as well as some of the students that I've taught over the years. And here's the basic idea, is that when we first start out, and I'm going to use red to represent, say, our rating, and green to represent our skill. The idea here is that when we first start out, we're very enthusiastic, and maybe we read a chess book or start playing a lot of Blitz online, get a lot of tips from the players we have, but there's an initial curve or initial spike in our ability. And if you look at people, their chess ratings, and if you look at it chronologically over time, that's what happens, at least with people who will study. Obviously, there's some players who maybe don't want to improve, or they just play for fun. But in any case, there's this initial rise in our rating. And then what happens is that it'll kind of plateau. And this may be for a lot of reasons. I think a lot of, for example, a lot of younger players, maybe they start to focus more on other activities like school or sports, or girls, or people of the people that they're attracted to, for example, as they get older. And I've seen that. So what happens is it kind of plateaus a little bit, and then maybe when they get older, or when they start a job, or start to have more room to realize they love chess again, they start to, maybe they get a chess coach, because now they can afford to have a chess coach, or to read more chess books, and then they have this rise again. Okay, for me, this happened between probably rating level around 1500 down here to about 1700 or 1800, and then there's this long period where you kind of have this plateau. And I think for different players, it's going to be different areas, but this could last for a while, and then finally, if you don't quit and if you keep working, you'll move up here, okay? And the general idea that I have here is that, well, there's a couple of ideas, but our skill level is, in general, I think, represented, or our rating is a general representative of our skill level, but I don't think it's an exact one at times. And here's what I mean. For example, our skill level here in the beginning, that rating level might rise, but it's because the people at the lower rating levels maybe are beginners, or people who aren't looking up, say, their openings. And so your skill level is moving along here. And I think what happens is that during this plateau, your skill level is still rising, but you haven't put together enough pieces of the puzzle in order to break through that next rating level. And I'm going to kind of get to where I was going with this. So I think the whole idea is here, if you continually train and you can continually learn, eventually you'll have enough of that skill to break through. And again, these lines don't necessarily correlate on top of each other, but the general idea is that you can be accumulating skills, you can be accumulating ability, if you are training consistently, okay? So, I mean, if you take a layoff, which I have done over a couple of years at times, the line is a little more jagged, but the idea is that a lot of you who are watching this channel may be in this phase here. Now, I know a lot of you too are just starting out in chess, and you're at this phase, so that's great. So continuing to learn and improve, you will see this along the way. But some of you are here. Maybe you're at 1600 or 1700, and maybe you've got you're out of school, you've got a job, and you study chess for an hour a day, which is kind of where I'm at with things, and you're steadily moving along here. And I guess my encouragement for you would be not to quit, because for all you know, you could be right around here. Okay, but I guess part of this is the self-awareness that this green line is occurring if you are continuing to train. So stay consistent and make sure that the training you do is sustainable. Make sure you are picking activities that are focused on a certain area. And I wrote an article about this on my Patreon page, a brief blog about some of the elements of effective training. Make sure that the activities you are doing are attacking your weaknesses. Make sure that you are looking up and studying and analyzing positions that you're not familiar with that show up in your openings. I mean, these are the basics, and these are moving you along this green line, even if your rating right now may seem stagnant, okay? I'm going to finish up here with the story of the Stonecutter, and some of you may have heard this, and the idea is that the Stonecutter, he's hammering away at the stone, and it looks like if you just watch him for the first 999 taps of the hammer, like nothing is happening. But on that 1000th strike, then the stone breaks, okay? So all of that tapping is this period right here, okay? And it's hard to tell where you are sometimes, okay? But the idea is focus your work on moving this green line up, and eventually this red line will catch up as well. So not sure, I hope that message gets across. I guess the bottom line is don't quit, and make sure that all of the training you're doing is moving you in a positive direction, and eventually your chess rating will follow. Hey guys, I hope that made sense. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comment or anything to add to that, please leave that in the comments. Over here, I'm going to be putting a video on some of my chess study tips for studying chess books, getting the most out of your training to help you move along that green curve. Okay, so check out that video if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you soon.